Sorry, just bear with me, guys. Just double checking everything's working fine. There we go. Everything's working. Fantastic. Well, guys, it is fantastic to see you all here today. And yeah, welcome to the pre-event, the Apple Spring Loaded. We've been waiting for this event since November last year, basically. It's the last time we actually had an Apple event. However, since then, we have had another product release, and that was the AirPods Max that came out in December time. That was a bit of a surprise when that came out, to be deadly honest. I thought they might be saving it to about this event now. But yeah, it's fantastic to be here and really, really excited for the event coming up. And yeah, it's going to be a really, really great show, I think, from Apple. A big hello to everybody who's in the chat. Make sure you say hello to me and give me a wave or give me a smile or say something. It'd be great to hear from you guys. So make sure you do utilize the chat and do say hello and everything. So yeah, it's fantastic to be here. So I'm just going to see if everyone's responding. There we go. Hi there, Shahir. Good to see you. You probably comment on all my videos. Don't think I don't notice, but I do notice. So it's great to see you. It's good to see you as well. IQ Super Kid as well. So yeah, it's really great. Good to see you as well, Aishan as well. So yeah, it's really, really great to see all you guys around. So yeah, fantastic with everything. So big hello to the world, as it were. So let's get started then. Of what I believe we're going to see at this Apple event. So this Apple event is coming up in about, oh, how many minutes now we got? Oh, we've got 27 minutes. Now, I believe at this event, we're definitely going to see a new iPad Pro. Put it this way, if there is not an iPad Pro, I will be gobsmacked. You know, I won't do a John Prosser. I will not shave my eyebrows. I'm sorry. So really, really sorry about that. But I'm really, really sure, quite sure, about 99% sure there will be a new iPad Pro. So that's definitely on the cards there. And that will probably have an A14X chipset inside it. So basically, I think that A14X chipset will probably be on par with, say, the abilities of M1, what's in those new MacBook Pros, the MacBook Air, and the Mac Mini. So yeah, if you're super excited about the new iPad Pro to start with, let me know. Tell me in the chat if you're super excited for that. Now, the other item, I think it's going to be a brand new one that we're probably going to see, and this has been in the works for years now, and that is AirTags. So, yeah, AirTags, if you don't know what they are, basically they're like little round tiles or square tiles. And funny enough, I'm saying the word tiles because there's a company out there called Tiles that does exactly the same thing. And what you do is they're like little key rings, and you can attach it to your keys, you can attach it to your dog. And basically, what it does is that there's a GPS inside it, and basically, with your phone, just like how you can use your Find My iPhone app or Find My iPad or Mac or whatever, Find My app, you'll be able to find items basically. Now, recently, Apple have just put in a big API into their iOS basically, and very, very recently, that allows other companies to work with theirs. So that's kind of a big signal to me that Apple are going to be releasing their own version of that. So basically, there's companies that have got GPS built into their, like electric bikes, for example. So to stop it getting stolen. That basically will be put inside. You know, that's been made compatible with iOS. But yeah, it's going to be really, really funny that I think that they're going to come out at last. Now, I say it's really funny they're finally coming out. They were ready last year, we believe. Now, the reason why we believe they were ready last year is because it was in iOS 13. That's how long ago the software was. But yeah, it was that long ago. So AirTags are definitely, I'm quite sure, on the cards. And the reason why they didn't get released last year, I think you just got to look at the news, haven't you? Why they didn't come out. And the main reason is half the world couldn't go out. So in theory, you weren't going to lose anything. So they kind of sat on that. So basically, yeah, that's probably the main reason behind that one on there. So yeah, what else are we expecting? So there is the possibility, something I'm super excited about myself, and that is a brand new Mac. And specifically, this is going to be the new iMac with an M1x chipset inside it. So this is going to be built on the foundations of M1. So basically, a bit like how we've had with iPads in the Pro, you have something like called A12, and then you have something like A12X. And normally what they is, they bolt a couple more cores into the actual chipset, and then basically that is what happens, and you basically get much more of a faster experience on multi-cores spread over. So I believe we're going to get an iMac M1X, and basically I think we're going to get a few more performance cores in that, and also that iMac's going to get a whole new design as well. Now, we've seen many leaks if you've been checking out my videos, so big hello to everybody on the channel here on the chat. But yeah, basically, I believe we're going to get lots of different color iMacs, just like we got years ago. So we're talking about over 20 years ago when the first kind of iMac came out. They were the big CRT, big screen things, and they made them in multiple different colors. And I think Apple are going to possibly go back on those routes. There's some leaks out there to do that. So yeah, that's going to be really, really cool. I'm just going to look at some of you guys and some of your questions here. Let's have a look what you guys are saying. Let's have a look. So Elise says, I'm cooking a pizza right now. What pizza are you baking? I want to know. Are you a fan of pineapple on pizza? Let me know in the chat, actually. If you guys think pineapple should go on a pizza or not, let me know. That's a big question. I actually like it. So call me a weirdo or not. I like pineapple on a pizza. It's not my favourite pizza, but I don't mind pineapple. So yeah, what else have we got here? We've got Shari Arkles. I've been waiting for the new iPad Pro since October when my first gen iPad Pro started crashing on the regular. It's time for an updated version. And I think, to be deadly honest, with the new iOS 15, I think the original iPad Pro, what came out like 4 years ago now, I don't think, or 5 years ago even, I don't think Apple will be supporting it much longer. So yeah, it might be a good time to upgrade on that one. Also at the same time as well, my iPad Mini 2 is on its last leg, according to Edward here. Yeah, definitely. It doesn't even get software updates anymore, I'm afraid, basically of the latest iOSs. So yeah, new iPad Mini is definitely something we're really looking forward to. I'll talk a bit more about that soon. What else have we got here from you guys? Will an iPhone SE launch this event or next event? That's from IQ Superkid. And I doubt there's going to be something on this event. The iPhone SE is a bit of a tricky one. It's needed, but it's not. It's tricky. If they do bring out an iPhone SE Plus or free, I think the iPhone XR needs to disappear. And based on that, I think it will be based on the iPhone XR design. So basically, you'll basically get an iPhone XR kind of type of phone, but with the new kind of A13 or an A14 chipset inside it. And I believe that's what Apple will do. It'd be great if they do bring that out this year. There has been talks it will come out, but I don't think it's going to come out at this event. If it is going to come out, it'll probably be later on this year, but I don't think it will come out with the iPhone 13s or the iPhone 12s. So let's see what else have we got here from some other people. So Stuart Rogers, you agree that ham and pineapple works on the pizza? Good man. I agree as well that it works fine. I do like that on there. Let's see how else we got here. YouTube Pro. I hope there is an Apple TV 6th generation. Yeah, I do hope so too. Now, there is a very good possibility that there will be a new Apple TV because all that Apple need to do is just change the chipset inside it, keep the same box that they've kept for the same designs as the Apple TV 2, and then basically just release it. So yeah, there's a good possibility of that, and especially with the big push of Apple Arcade about a month ago or so, where Apple brought in more games and apps. So I think there was a good possibility that we might see a new Apple TV possibly announced just for a minute or two. AirPods. Ooh, that's a good one from Alfred Hitchcock's. AirPods 3. Now, it is due that new AirPods are to come out because it's been about 2 years since the AirPods 2 came out, and then 2 years before that we had the original AirPods. So yeah, I think there is a good possibility, and especially that the Pro at the moment, that's what I've got in my ears right now. These are AirPods Pros in my ears, and yeah, basically I think there's been a lot of technical advances, and there's been a lot of leaks as well. If you've checked out my recent AirPods videos, you'll see there's lots of leaks for AirPods 3s. So yeah, some exciting times coming along for that. So I do think we could see some new AirPods. In my opinion, if I had to put my finger on it, I think we'll see a new iPad Pro. We'll see an iPad Mini. I also think we'll probably see AirTags because now is a better time than ever. And I also think AirPods 3 as well is something that we will see. I don't think we'll see a new AirPods Pro 2. I doubt that. I'd be shocked if we did. If it's good, if we do, fantastic, brilliant to see some AirPods 2. But remember, they're only about 16 months old. AirPods Pros are not actually that old. They only came out at the end of 2019, so not really that old, to be honest. So I don't think they're in line yet to be refreshed. But yeah, AirPods 3, quite possibly on that one. Let's see what else we've got here. Let's have a look at it. Zana, you said I want Apple to make the look of the first gen iPhone, but with the new stuff with Face ID and stuff like that, but with the same idea and look. So yeah, look at this, Anna. I've got an original iPhone right here, by the way. It's powered off at the moment, but possibly. I hope they make it a bit thinner. But yeah, they could put Face ID. It'd be a bit of a small screen. I think the iPhone 12 minis overall is bigger than that from there to there. But yeah, you never know. But I see what your idea is. It's nice. It's a metal finish, but I don't know how wireless charging would work with that. But yeah, good idea though. I do like that idea. So yeah, you never know. One day, they might do that for the iPhone 13. What else have we got here? Um, let's have a look. Someone else saying, I'm really expecting. Who's that? Sorry, it's just disappeared off there. Surya Rajan, I'm really expecting a MacBook Pro with M1x or M2 in this event. I've wasted a few months already, and I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I think it's very doubtful we will see the MacBook Pro M1X or M2 at this event. I think that's going to be saved for far later on in the year, probably nearer the end of the year. Remember, guys, with Apple and its Mac, it's Apple transition. It's a 2-year transition. So, yes, they just started the journey. So, the end of this journey of their transition is technically November 2022. That's what, 20 months away. So I can't really see them launching so many Apple products at this event. Like I said, I talked about the iMac already, but I think we're not going to see basically I don't think we're going to see that just yet, I'm afraid. But yeah, one thing though, guys, I just want to quickly mention though on this stream right now, and that is due to YouTube's copyright reasons, okay, I cannot actually do a picture-in-picture of the actual event on this stream. So what I'm afraid you're going to have to do is go to Apple's website, or if you just go on YouTube and search for the Apple event, open it up in a new tab, or if you're on a phone, go and get yourself another device like an iPad or another phone or something, and then basically open it up on there, and we'll keep this open at the same time. Due to copyright reasons and Apple slapping my hand for doing a picture-in-picture, I'm not allowed to stream it. And all other streamers out there are basically doing the same. They can't show it technically on that. So I just want to advise on that. But what I will do is I'm just going to write a quick note in the chat. Here's my multitasking skills, where basically I'll give you a link to the actual YouTube link of the Apple Spring Loaded event. So just bear with me. I'm just going to write a quick note. Just bear with me. But yeah, keep putting more questions in and comments in, guys, in the chat at the same time. I'll answer them just in 1 second. So just bear with me. I'm just going to copy the stream. So it's going to start in less than 15 minutes now. Just bear with me, guys. I'm just going to post that in the chat. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I just put a link in there. So, like I said, I can't do a picture in picture. Well, unfortunately, due to copyright reasons. But yeah, there is a link there. So make sure you open up that link I've just put in the chat right now, and you can watch the event at the same time. Okay, so make sure you do that, and we'll be doing that. So let's have a look at some of the other questions here. Let me just quickly go here. IQ Super Kid, you've got a lot of questions you have. Let's answer another one of yours here. It says, is the iPad 6 going to get a redesign? I'm afraid it's doubtful. We recently got a leak. I don't know if you checked out my last iPad Mini video I recently did. There is there was a leak that came out which shows the new iPad Pros and also shows the iPad Mini. And basically, the design on both of those devices has not changed at all. The iPad Pro basically looks identical, and so does the iPad Mini. What is a shame, because the iPad Mini design hasn't changed since the day it came out. I think the only main change has been as Touch ID was introduced in the second generation. But if you got hold of an iPad Mini 2 and an iPad Mini 4 and an iPad Mini 5, for example, put them all together, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They all look the same, basically. So there is the same design. The same with the iPad Pro. The design only got changed 2 generations ago. And Apple kind of have this thing where they kind of normally do an update to the design every kind of 3rd to 5th generation. I say 5th generation, so for example, like Macbooks and iMacs. But for like phones, they normally do it like every 3 generations now. Then back in the day, it used to be every 2. But you know, ever since like the iPhone 6 design, what we use for the 6S, 7, even the 8, and even the SE now, it was the same design they kept, even though they kind of made them cheaper, kind of put them a bit more on the shelf. But you know, look at the iPhone 10 design and the iPhone, for example, 10s and then the 11. Technically, it was the same design. Yes, the camera changed on the back a bit and things like this, the module, but it was the same design really. And the same thing with the iPhone 12. It's very likely the iPhone 13 or the 12s and the phone after that one, whatever that would be, the 13, 14 or whatever, then basically it'll be probably the same design again. Apple retains them for about 3 years on phones. I don't think there will be a major change there. So unfortunately, this time for the iPad Mini 6, there is no redesign looking at the leaks. But there's always next year. So, but yeah, that is quite a bit of a disappointment, I must admit. Let's see what people are saying here. Shahira says, basically, it's 15 minutes to go. It's almost 10 minutes to go now, guys, but we're almost getting there. For example, Mayo Wong says, I really hope the new iPad Pro is going to be worth killing my wallet, LOS. Yeah. It certainly will kill your wallet. The question is, though, I think, or something what I'll talk about after the stream. So make sure you stick around after the stream because I'm going to be doing an after kind of event as well. And that is basically, there's a question to be answered now that if you bought yourself an iPad Pro 12.9 inch and you bought the Apple Magic keyboard accessory, the iPad one, it costs you about $1,300 US. Guess what a 13-inch iPad Pro costs? Yeah, you probably guessed it, $1,300. So it's kind of, what do I pick? And from the sounds of it, the A14X was going inside it. It's going to be about as powerful as the M1. So it's going to be a bit of a tricky thing to pick here. It's kind of basically, you're going to get an iPad Pro 13-inch, just 0.1 of an inch smaller, but with a touchscreen. It's going to be a bit strange, isn't it? But yeah, we'll see on that. But the price change might go down. We don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. Oscar Wheatley says, when do you think the 14-inch MacBook Pro is coming out? I think it's not going to come out now, not today. I think we'll see a 14-inch MacBook Pro probably around kind of end of October, beginning of November. Because if you look at the history of the last year, say 5 years of Apple, whenever they've done a release of MacBooks, whenever they do an event, meaning not just upgrade the bits inside and just, on the Apple website, we updated the bits. When they do an event, it's always around that time for MacBooks, for their Pro models, definitely, generally in the last, say, sort of 5-6 years. So again, I think we're probably going to have to wait to kind of end of October, beginning of November time to see an update on that. Let's have a look, see what else people are saying here. Rain Amaka says, "Hey Matt, will Apple ever release its charging cables and any other accessories related to its MacBook iPhone product line in a black color instead of the traditional boring white color?" Ooh, that's contradicting. The boring white color. That's Apple's unique color, that is. Um, I've never seen plans for it. I think at the end of the day, I think you're a unique person there. I've never met somebody, to be deadly honest, who goes, "Oh, opens up my phone or gets my new MacBook and looks at the charger and goes, oh, it's white. I wish they sent me a black one." Um, but I've never. You're the first person I've met who's done that. But based on that, then I don't think they will. Possibly, they might. Maybe on the Pro models. I don't know. Going forwards, maybe. But like, I don't know. Honestly, that is a question I cannot answer. I'd say probably more likely not than they will on that one. Let's have a look. What else have we got here? Is from Kooky Killer, is an iMac likely? That is the one I am 50-50 on. There is a possibility we will see it today. There's a possibility we won't. There are leaks. There are the things, the differences with this iMac. Everyone's talking about a redesigned iMac. And basically, there's been no hard leaks of a physical new iMac. What I mean by hard leaks is that, like my videos I do animations, yeah, for you guys. There's lots of that out there and lots of animation stuff. And I made some of my own animations actually based on some of the pictures I've seen of kind of like, Blender kind of stuff. But there's no, here we go. Here's the new iMac M1x Screen going through production. When you get leaks like that. So just recently, for example, we got this leak that the iPhone 13 is going to get a smaller notch, slightly smaller notch. Don't get too excited, it's only slightly. And we get those kind of leaks. And there's a picture of it, physical picture. There's nothing like that what's come out for the iMac. So based on that, that's why I'm 50-50 to say there is and there isn't. I think it's in the works. Whether we'll see it today, I don't know. I don't know. Either way, I'm 50-50 on that, on everything on that one. And as Armpit, I like that name, Armpit Brit says here, 7 more minutes to go. And it is indeed, guys. So get yourself comfortable. I'm just going to say it again, I'm just going to put it inside the chat here. I can't actually physically stream the actual event as a picture-in-picture on here, like down the corner down here somewhere, whatever, or me down the corner in the main event here where I am right now, due to copyright reasons. Apple don't like it, and many other streamers here on YouTube can do the same. They can't do the same. You cannot basically do a picture-in-picture of the live events. So basically, go to that link that I've left in the chat just there, and then basically, click onto that, open that on another device if you like, on a phone or on a tablet, and then keep both open if you're on a laptop or if you're on your Mac. Split the screen, keep the stream open so we can all keep chatting, and also at the same time as well, keep the event open at the same time. Also, at the end of the event, guys, stick around because I've got something special to announce. I'll give you a clue. It's to do with a giveaway that I'm doing on my channel. So, stick around for that if you want more information about that afterwards. And also, we're going to do a recap of everything that Apple have talked about at the event today. So make sure when the event finishes to keep this window open or keep it open on your device. And we're going to talk some more on here about those kind of things that have been announced at the Apple event. So, let's see what else other people are saying here. So what will happen with the Apple Pencil, Fanesca? What will happen with the Apple Pencil? Well, basically, there was a leak, literally, I think it was yesterday or the day before, of the Apple Pencil 3, supposedly. But it was like, you only saw like half the pencil. And the thing is, though, to be honest, if you look at the Apple Pencil 1 to the Apple Pencil 2 from a bit of a distance, you can't actually see the difference, tell the difference. But there hasn't really been many leaks about an Apple Pencil 3. Remember, the Apple Pencil 2 only came out, when was it, last year? Or was it the year before? I think, yeah. And what more can you do with a pencil? That's the question. So the only thing I think is they can make it more, the tip to work much more better. So, for example, if you're a Samsung Galaxy fan here and you've got the Note, they made their tip much more sensitive. I think that's the only thing you can really do with the pencil at this stage. There's not much more you can do. Also, just wanted, oh, wow, look at that. Thank you to Thomas P. You just gave me $2. Thank you so much. Busy but exciting day. Hope I'll catch the end. Thank you so much for that. Also, just a quick one for you guys as well. I just want to tell you this. I love all your support. Thank you for joining this event again. And yeah, if you do feel like if you want to support me with my channel, it's been growing now for some time now. It's almost a year old properly. Yeah, feel free if you want to put your hand in your pocket, as it were. I appreciate anything you can give, because what I plan to do is anything that gets announced today, I do want to purchase, and I want to do reviews for you guys. And I'm not just talking, this is the review about the new iPad Pro. I want you guys to tell me of things to test, like for example, on the new iPad Pro, and also to show you guys, if you're a massive CS:GO fan, or you have a massive Fortnite fan or something. Well, not Fortnite, because you can't play Fortnite on iPads. Basically, yeah, I want to test those out for you, but obviously I've got to pay out my money to basically buy that. So yeah, big thank you to Rain Amateur, who says basically the 17 to 18-inch MacBook Pro replacing the 16-inch at the top of the line model. With your question you just put there, I don't think so. Apple did do a 17-inch model some years ago, a long time ago, about 10 years ago now, and basically they stopped making them because not many people bought them. But again, it's that form factor. Apple just changed it from 15.4-inch, the MacBook Pro, to a 16-inch. They made all the bezels smaller. I've got one right in front of me, actually, a 16-inch MacBook Pro. But basically, I don't think Apple anytime soon, personally, is going to make a bigger screen MacBook Pro. Unfortunately, I think they're going to be sticking with 16-inch. Lemon Play product says 3 minutes left, and he's absolutely right. And also, if you just go onto the Apple link right now, they've just started playing the music, and they've got an intro working. So if you do want to check that out, I'm just getting it bigger on my screen here. Do look into that. I'll just put a link again on my chat here, and I'll just say one more time again that I can't do a picture-in-picture of this event, but you can open up this link here, keep me open as well on a different device or something like this, or keep me open on a second window, split your screen or whatever, and we'll keep the chat going here, and I'll giving you full coverage of the event. Also, at the same time as well, remember, guys, stick around at the end, because I'm going to give you my full feedback of everything that's been talked about. And also, I've got a special announcement to do with the giveaway as well. So make sure you stick around for that as well at the end. But yeah, the event's going to start in about 1 minute from now. Make sure, again, to grab your link there and to get that open up on the second window. And yeah, we're going to watch this together. So yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Just fit one more question in very, very, very quickly. What can we see quickly? Will there be an affordable MacBook for IQ SuperKid? I don't think so. Now, I did think there was going to be, but you never know. Apple will probably surprise us, because there was that MacBook design. And also, just quickly from Dino Australia, PUBG gameplay review on the new iPad Pro and Mini. You got it, Dino. I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to get the new Mini, and I'm going to get the new iPad Pro, and I'll do that. And yeah, I will do a test on that. Probably one of the first videos I'll probably actually make, because I actually want to know what it's like to actually play PUBG on them. Because if it's got the strength of M1 inside it in an iPad, the iPad Pro, I will definitely be doing that. And then also at the same time for the iPad Mini, depending if they put an A14 in it, it'll be interesting to see what that looks like as well. So yeah, I'll definitely do that for you. Edward Hanna, you've just said, are the rumors of the iPad Mini real? The iPad Pro Mini real? There's been no hard leaks of that yet, unfortunately. So I don't think we probably will. But what I will say is that we'll probably will get a new iPad Mini, but unfortunately not an iPad Mini Pro, sadly. I think the Apple event is just about to start, guys. So let's tune in. Let's watch the intro now. And yeah, thank you for sticking with me. And if you've just joined, make sure you open up the link, like I said. Here, and basically, yeah, keep 2 tabs open, keep this chat open, and keep that open at the same time as well, guys. And yeah, let's listen to this, and make sure, like I said, stick around to the end, because I'll be doing coverage of everything what we're going to see right now, and I've also got some talk about the giveaway as well. So let's watch this event then. Just to let you know, my screen's just over there, so that's why I'm looking away a bit. They've got the Apple campus again. Nice and spring, isn't it? Zada, it sounds like a Wii, it does a bit. Oh, Tim is definitely in the spring mood. Look at that. Look at those pecs. Look at his arms. Look how muscular he's got. He's definitely using the Apple Fitness, isn't he? It's nice to see him walk through the campus this time. Apple do love doing a lot of their environment stuff. So yeah, it's good. They always like to talk about them. This is why we're missing chargers inside our iPhones now, by the way. But it's good to see that they're doing this carbon initiative, definitely. I think all devices are going to get more and more eco as they go far along and how they're made and recycled. Edward Hanna, the Apple headquarters look like a resort. It does a bit, doesn't it? Who wants to go on their holiday to the Apple resort? I do. Oh, Apple Car. It's not available in my country, in the UK. See what they're doing with the credit card. I wasn't expecting a credit card announcement. Ooh, they're merging their credit cards. That's the first big announcement, guys. We're merging credit cards. You can leave the show now. We know credit cards are merged. Show's over. Gosh, would you let your 13-year-old with your credit cards? I wouldn't. Apple Card family. Wow. I know there is a cap on it, but still. They're trying to get rid of cash, aren't they? And I'm a fond believer of that. Podcast. 15 years ago. Wow, that's a long time ago. I remember iTunes looked like that. I remember that classic grey and green of iTunes. It was amazing. Ooh. What I'm hoping what Apple are doing here, they're getting the little things out of the way and bring the big stuff in a minute. But, I'm like this right now. Come on, iPad Pro, iPad Pro, iPad Pro, iPad Pro. Let me know, actually, if you listen to podcasts. I listen to podcasts. I enjoy podcasts. But yes, this is interesting to hear. That's a shame, George, Sender. They turn you down, but my score has gone up. Well, we could try again. iPhone. Oh, what are we talking about? iPhone. What new features are you bringing out for iPhone? I bet it's the cases. We saw leaks of cases, didn't we, guys? I don't know if you saw that. A new iPhone color. Wow. A purple. A purple iPhone. Wow. Bit of stealing of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, isn't it? A purple iPhone, guys. That's new. Who wants a purple iPhone? Purple. That is quite cool. It's weird how they brought that out now. I thought they wouldn't bring out like that to the new iPhone, but they have done product red before. They did that with the iPhone 7 years ago. They brought out an iPhone 7 um, and put in product red. So it's available April 30th. Right, keep that date in your heads, guys, because that basically probably means most of the products are coming out April 30th. If you recently watched one of my videos, I said that most Apple products come out on a Friday. So it's most likely that is the date now where most of these products we're going to see now are coming out. But let's check out then this new what's coming out now. Find my. We might get AirTags. AirTags? We're going to get AirTags. I think this is AirTags, guys. I'm quite sure. This looks like it. It's got to be, hasn't it? It's got to be. There we go. The third-party products I mentioned earlier. Let's see what they are. I bet they're the AirTags. It's got to be AirTags, hasn't it? Cool. He's buried his keys deep into the sofa, into the couch. Whose couch is like that? Mine is not like that. Maybe with the loose change or the peanuts. Mine has chocolate wrappers down it, probably. And TV remotes. There's a TV remote. It's got to be AirTags, isn't it, guys? Look at Lemon Plays Productions. He's super excited. Yes, AirTags. Yay, they're finally out. And there's the keyring. Oh, look at that. Just like the concepts. AirTags out, guys. Oh, that's cool. You can personalize it. I'm going to be buying some AirTags, guys, so don't worry. I will probably lose myself, and then I'll get my other half to find me with the AirTags or something. You never know. We'll try something out. But I'll be getting them to show you guys, definitely. The question is, how do you charge them? That's really good how that works. Very empty gym, isn't it? There it is. That's good. $29. Ordered when they're coming out? Told you, April 30th is the day everything's coming out, basically. I'll probably just get the one AirTag to show you guys. That's really good. But they didn't talk about how they charged them, did they? But AirTags are out, guys. Let's back to Tim, like she says. Spring. There's a wasp there. Apple TV. Who was it on Who wanted Apple TV? An update to Apple TV. I think you're about to get it. Thought they might, because that big arcade push. I think it'll get an A14 inside it. Do any of you guys have Apple TV or watch it? Let me know in the chat. Tell me if you do watch it. Let's see what's coming on. That's soccer, or football where I'm from, it's called. It does look good though. The wolf, what's it called? The wolf walkers. You see, it said Westway Bank there. It should say Apple Bank, shouldn't it? Does look good, this does. July 23rd, guys. That does look good though. Let's see a new Apple TV. Here we go. Let's see what they're going to say. Let's see what they're going to do. Who's got Apple Fitness Plus? Or who uses AirPlay? Let me know in the chat. Ooh. A12 inside it. It had A10. So it's now got A12. Still good chip. iPhone XR, iPad 8th generation. Need I go on? It's a very good chipset. HDR support's very good. I'm happy about that. Especially the iPhone 12 records and that and things like that. There we go. Dolby Vision. There we go. That's good. I guess you've got to have a good Wi-Fi and you've got to have a good TV though for all of that as well. Didn't tell you that bit. I agree with you, George. Said my house is definitely not like that, and I don't leave my fitness stuff down the corner either. That's pretty cool. That's good for the TV color balance. That is really quite cool. But yeah, back to that living room. Yeah, my living room. I'd trip over those dumbbells on the floor. I'd be that kind of person walking through the middle of the night and dunk, fall over, break my nose. And who just has an Apple TV box underneath their TV and nothing else? Where's the PlayStation? Where's the Xbox? Where's the Nintendo Switch? Or who's got a DVD player? Who's still got a DVD player? Let me know in the chat, actually. See what the Siri remote. Ooh, that's a nice remote, isn't it? It's kind of like a mix of the old remote and the new remote. Much bigger buttons, aren't there? They're huge. It looks like an. I'm going to say this. I'm normally a fan of Apple, but I've got to say that remote looks like an old person's remote, doesn't it? Here's the volume up button. Ah, you can control your TV and devices now. I guess that's through the HDMI, isn't it? A dedicated Siri button. There you go. That's the big push on carbon. Same with me, Edward. I've got DVDs gathering dust somewhere. 180 US dollars or 200 US dollars. Not too bad. Second half of May. Ooh. It's not coming out at the end of April then. I think that's a device I might skip, guys, to not getting to show you. I might skip that one because it's difficult to show when you're recording on a camera to see the difference, really. So I might skip that one. The Mac! Mac time, Mac time, Mac time. Let's see what they're going to do. We might get a new Mac. Let's see what they're going to do. This is going to be exciting. Who's got an M1 Mac? Let me know in the comments or let me know in the chat here. Oh, here we go. Mac time, guys. Is it the M1x iMac? Lemon Plays Production? Do you think it is? Let's see. That is not in their lake, is it? Underground layer. Let's see what they're going to say. It's good that they're doing that, app creators, developers. Ooh. It's going to have M1. It's not going to have an M1x. Let's have a look. Is it the iMac? It's got to be the iMac, hasn't it, guys? Oh, look at that, guys. It's the new iMac. Oh, wow. Ooh. It's a new iMac. They're very vibrant colours. Very strong colours. Wow. Nice they are. I think they're the basic iMacs because haven't got many ports on the back, but still it's beautiful. That is amazing. Look at that. Yeah, I spotted the two USBs as well. That's a lot of denim, isn't it? Who's got something like that in their closet or wardrobe? I haven't. I'm a bit annoyed about the chin though. It's nice and thin, but it's got a chin. She'll buy the blue one, won't she? It's got a headphone port. I guess it's cool. But I'm a bit disappointed with the design, to be honest. It's nice that it's flat on the back, nice and flat. That is nice and flat. I do like that, but yeah, nice flat back. That's probably one thing I really like about it. But that chin, why is the chin still there? I bet it's fan. It's got to be fanless. It's got to be a fanless though. It has to be fanless. Okay, it does have small fans, just small little fans, like laptops, Macbooks. Is that what's in the chin then? I'm guessing. Yeah, that's how they've done it. Speakers are next to the board, aren't they? It's nice and thin, I'll give you that. But like I said, I'm a bit disappointed with the design. And it's got M1. I reckon it's just a 21.5 inch though. Or I could be wrong. That's 24. Hey, there we go. At least that's some good news. That's good. 4.5K. That's still very good. It's probably about the same amount of pixels as the 21.5 inch. 500 nits. It's good. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I will get one of these guys to review. Let's see what else they've done. Microphone speakers time, guys. Have they updated the webcam? That's the big question, isn't it? Is it 720p? Is it 1080p? 1080p! Yay! We've been waiting like 10 years. To me, that's the most exciting feature is the camera so far. 1080p camera. It's about time. You have a good point there, Abby Rubin. There is no keyboard and mouse. It's carbon neutral, remember? So you don't get a keyboard and mouse. You've got to buy your own. And you've got to buy the power supply. Don't forget the power supply. The camera's going to make you like a rock star, guys. It's a bit of a waste of space, I think, there's a little bit here. We knew there'd be good mics. We knew there would probably be an upgrade of the camera. Well, I was hoping there was, and speakers. I think iPads are probably going to be next, guys, after this. It's probably going to be the iPad Mini 6 first, then the iPad Pro. I think after, most likely. The question is, though, for you guys, is do you buy one of these new iMacs, or do you get yourself a, what's it called, a Mini? Do you get yourself a Mac Mini and buy yourself a good screen, like a 27-inch screen, for example, and connect that into the back of it? And probably that would be cheaper. Well, I don't know. We'll see what the price is, but at the current price, it'd probably be cheaper to do that, and you're going to get the same performance. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, I've got a Mac Mini right here. It's in right there. Will you guys get a new iMac? Let me know in the chat. Tell me. But remember, guys, there's no 27-inch or 32-inch iMac. So there's a possibility that's where M1X is going, remember? And that was something that we did say, is that we weren't expecting a 27 or 32 inch. They're just going over the same facts when they brought out M1 when it first came out, aren't they, really? We know all of this. We know what M1 does. It's still better than the current 21-inch iMacs, I'll give you that. But in my head, I'm going, you might as well buy yourself a Mac Mini because you're going to get the same performance. And you can buy yourself a bigger monitor with really good quality monitor, and it'll probably still be cheaper than probably what this iMac's going to be. I reckon this iMac's going to be probably about $1,000 US. If it's less, then it's a bit of a maybe debatable. Because what is it? $699, isn't it, for a Mac Mini? How much a 27-inch screen? A good one? What, $200? So it's $899. So if it comes out at $899, then yeah, maybe it's worth getting the iMac. But if not, it might be worth getting a Mac Mini. To be fair, yes, we know this. This is a feature we came about years ago with iOS. This is yes, we know about handoff as well. Yeah, these are not new features. These are features that have been out for years. I think they're kind of stretching this bit out. Hmm. Connectivity. Okay, that's different. Two of them Thunderbolt and two of them normal. That's different. It's a MagSafe. It's a MagSafe. I'll give you that. That's pretty cool. The power cable and the network cable going into it. Oh, here we go. Keyboard and mouse. Emoji button. Hey. No Touch ID though. Notice no Touch ID on that. Oh, they have. Sorry. Forgive me. That's cool. It's been a big thing what's been missing for years is Touch ID on a Mac, iMac and stuff. Just the Macbooks have had them. That's good. But can you use that keyboard and mouse like with a Mac Mini? It'd be good if you can. By the way, I'm not a loyal fan of Mac Mini. I'm just trying to think what you're getting for your price here. Do you get that keyboard? That's another thing. If you get the keyboard and mouse inside the box with the iMac, then yeah, it might be worth it. Depending on this price of this iMac, we've got to see the price. Yes, Zan, I agree. It's the old mouse design. It's just got a bit of color on it, hasn't it? But at the end of the day, it works really well. So why change it? That's true, Abby. I haven't said it comes with it. Who would have their iMac in the kitchen? Is your iMac in the kitchen? Or your Mac? Maybe your MacBook. I'll give you that. But not. Would you put your computer in the kitchen? Let's please say it's with it. It says it's matching, but does it come with it? Magic matching colours. What's it in the box? I think that denim is too much for me. What she's wearing. Like I said, guys, I will be getting one of these new iMacs to test. Definitely. I'll compare it to like the Mac Mini as well. Let me know what you want to do with the iMac as well. Put down in the chat or whatever. Let me know what you'd like me to do. $12.99. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'll get one to test. Second half of May. I will get one, but I got to say, I can only recommend to actually probably get yourself a Mac Mini like here and get yourself a screen to go with it because it works out better. It's cheaper. Or get yourself a MacBook Air. To be honest, if you got yourself a MacBook Air and a big screen, it'd probably be about the same cost. Oh, I'm not sure about that iMac. I'm a little bit upset about that, I'll be honest. I'm a bit disappointed. Let me know how you feel in the chat, if you're disappointed or not with that iMac. What's going on there? Running on the roof. What's this guy going to do? He's creeping into the secret room, isn't he? It's got to be. With an Apple Watch on. He's probably got an AirTag in his pocket. You can find where he is. I know how you feel, Be the Gourd. Like I said, I'm going to make a video probably to say, is it worth getting a MacBook or is it worth... Oh, M1's been taken out. Sorry, I'll get back to that. What are they doing? M1's been put inside something. Is it the M1 iPad Pro? It's not an A14X iPad. It was Tim Cook. I did like that. An M1 iPad Pro, guys. So we're not going to get an A14X, but it's about the same power. Was what we thought. That's going to be super smooth, guys. It's going to be a very powerful iPad. Is there a fan? Looks good, though. The question is, though, is the price of this iPad Pro, I'm going to say, because just hear me out. The current iPad Pro 12.9 inch is $1,000. The iPad Air with a keyboard and mouse with an M1 inside it is $1,000. And if you had to buy yourself a Magic Keyboard, it's going to cost you about $1,300. But you do get the touchscreen. So it's one of those questions, isn't it? Do you want which one are you going to go for? Because technically, it's basically a MacBook Air with a touchscreen. Unknown player, I know how you feel. I know exactly how you feel there. So basically, we got the basic iMac. It's the same as a Pro iPad. So it's a bit confusing, I must say. We'll talk about this afterwards, after this is over. It's good to know that the iPad's going to be super capable, though. There we go. It's a very powerful iPad, I'll give you that. You're probably right there, Abby, as well. The pencil's coming. It's the same design, isn't it, from what I can tell here? But we always knew it probably would be. 2 terabyte iPad. Wow. 2 terabyte iPad. That's crazy. Thunderbolt. That's good. I'm happy about that with the Thunderbolt. I'm really happy. That's really good. Do you know something? Like I just showing there, with you connecting this to an external screen, get an iPad Pro instead of the iMac because you'd still be cheaper to buy that and connect it to a screen, wouldn't it? I know you don't get Mac OS, but still, you can take it around with you. But like I said, the same with the MacBook Air. It's hard to choose now. Why would you get an iPad Pro if you can get a MacBook Air? What comes with the keyboard and mouse? But then you don't get the touchscreen. I guess it depends on the user, doesn't it? If you're much more of a touchscreen person, then definitely I would get an iPad Pro. If you're more of a keyboard and mouse person, definitely get the what's it called? Get the MacBook Air instead. It's the same chip, same power. But there again, it has got this 5G connectivity as well. So if that's something what you're going to use as you're out and about, but then you can always tether, remember, off your phone. If you tether off your phone, you can do that. Everyone forgets about tethering or the hotspot or whatever it's called. It's a very empty boat, isn't it? Pikachu Kuma, I know, very upsetting, very upsetting. I am very impressed with this iPad, though, I've got to say. It's just going to be tricky to pick. Which one do you go for? Like I said, MacBook Air or this? It's tricky. Wow, look at that, guys. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? The AR is getting really far. I think eyeglasses is going to be coming soon. Renier, yep, iPad Mini 6, it should be coming soon, hopefully. We should be able to see it in a minute. I guess the question is though, if you got yourself the 11-inch iPad Pro, you know, it might be it's cheaper than getting the MacBook Air, but then you get a smaller screen. But then again, we did have a MacBook Air with an 11-inch screen up to a few years ago, didn't we? Let me know if you owned one of those MacBook Airs, because I never had one of the 11 inches. Was it workable? Was it usable? Let me know in the chat. New lenses, center stage. That's pretty cool, isn't it, using the ultra wide? That's a cool camera ability, isn't it? I've been on conference calls like that and they've done that. So it's good that they put that inside the iPad. Liquid retina display, mini LED. Let's see what they do. Ooh. Liquid retina XDR. 1,000 nits, that's bright. Wow. That's a very sharp display, guys. It's making me wonder how much this iPad Pro is going to cost, guys. It's going to make me wonder. Clarity, I think there's going to be another iMac later on in the year. The reason is because the 27-inch iMac only had a new Intel chipset August last year. So I think later on this year we'll get like an M1X or something inside it. The 21.5-inch is kind of like the equivalent of like a MacBook Air or the low spec MacBook Pro. So I think that's the reason why they've done that iMac. So just hang out a few more months and you'll get it. Good ones, Anna. I'll probably have to give up. I have to remortgage my house to get this stuff to review and test for you guys. I'm afraid of the price of this iPad, guys. know, Shania. Try watching it like on. Do you have a TV, a smart TV or something? It'd be good if they had Final Cut Pro on an iPad because it's just got iMovies. So hopefully they talk about Final Cut Pro here because it make me very interested because that's how I edit my videos. Final Cut Pro. I'm a Final Cut Pro fan. Well, not a fan. I just got brought up with using it, and you know the rules. Once you get taught one thing, it's hard to switch to another. Oh, the Mandalorian! Hey, let's see what the price is going to be. I'm scared of the price, especially that new display. I'm scared. I will be buying AirTags Infinity. Good to see you as well, by the way, Infinity. I love it that you do comment on quite a few of my videos, so good to see you. But yeah, I will be getting the AirTags to do a review. I might lose myself and see if my other half will find me. Okay, there's no new Apple Pencil, I think, just there because we just saw them talking about an Apple Pencil. I wish, Zana. The problem is, though, Zana, there's no RTX chipsets around at the moment. I wish they did put something like that in it. Be the god, they will exist, and they'll still cost you $1,000 for a 3070 or a 3070 chip in 10 years' time. Let's stay back on the thing though here. The Thunderbolt is really exciting, definitely on this new iPad. So is the display, obviously, but yeah. See that parrot there? I've got one of those parrots. It's called a Quaker parrot or a monk parrot. I've got one of them. Might bring him to a video one day. Pencil? Pencil? Ooh, see what happens. Oh, a white one. That's different. No new pencil, I don't think, guys. So that leak, what someone did, was false. Curse them. Just a white accessory. Well done, Adam. Well done. I'm going to say, Pikachu, I don't think we're going to get an M1X MacBook Pro today. Oh, the price. Okay, it's $100 more. Okay, so it's $100 more. So not so bad. But I think the iPad Pro 11-inch is the same price. So yeah, I don't know. It's complicated. It's tricky to recommend, like I said, the iPad Pro or to get yourself a MacBook Air because, like I said, the MacBook Air has got the M1 chipset inside it, and you've got a keyboard and you've got a mouse. So, it's tricky to say to go for the iPad Pro, but then again, that display looks gorgeous, and you do get a touchscreen on iPad Pro, but then you're missing the keyboard and mouse unless you buy the Magic Keyboard, and that costs more money. By that point, you're paying about what, 1,400 US dollars over $1,000 for the MacBook Air. That is the 12.9-inch iPad Pro I'm talking about, because that's like similar, same screen size, 13-inch, 12.9. Obviously, if you bought the 11-inch one, then yeah, it would be cheaper, but you do have a far smaller screen. Um, from the looks of it, Pro WN stuff, I don't think there was LED on the iPad Pro. I think they've just updated their LCD screen, so they didn't talk about it. Up to 16 gigabytes of memory. Wow, that is a jump. That's the RAM. They didn't talk about that. That is a massive jump. But I'm guessing you would have to put that in. Oh, only the 12.9 has the liquid retina display, not the 11-inch. That's why it's $100 more, probably. I'm afraid, Shahir, if you did that, basically you've just invented. There's no point with the iPad Pro to exist. iPad Mini, iPad Mini. Exactly my point, Infernity, about the MacBook Pro for that price. Totally agree. What's Tim Cook going to say? We are pushing on an hour though, guys. This might be the end of the event, sadly. It is. Make sure, guys, to stick around at the end after this. I'm going to do a review, and I've also got a special announcement as well. But yeah, definitely stick around, guys. The iMac, yeah, we'll talk about the iMac. There you go, video's over there. It's just about finishing. I'm just going to close down the video. Well, guys, what a what an interesting event, the spring-loaded event. So let me just take a swig of water, and we'll get started. So let's talk about what we didn't see. So straight away here, Renier says no iPad Mini 6, and yeah, that is a disappointment. I was expecting an iPad Mini 6 with A14 inside. I don't know what they're doing with it. It doesn't make any sense because the iPad fifth generation right now costs more than the iPad eighth generation, even though it's smaller. So the iPad eighth generation has an A12 chipset in it, and it's got like a 10.2-inch display, and it costs 330 US dollars. And yet the iPad Mini has an A12 in it, smaller, and it costs 399 US dollars. No idea what's going on there. So I did really think they were going to change that. So no iPad Mini 6, disappointingly. I'm quite annoyed by that. So yeah, very, very sad not to see that. Let's see what else was missing. So there were no new MacBooks. To be honest, we were kind of expecting this. I think we're going to see those new MacBooks nearer the end of the year with either an M1X or an M2 chipset inside them. So we'll see them near the end of the year. And definitely, I think we're going to see a 14-inch MacBook Pro and we're going to see a 16-inch MacBook Pro with M1X or M2 inside it. So yeah, that was interesting. The other thing as well, lastly, we didn't see any new AirPods. So maybe AirPods 3 will come out later on in the year, and maybe we may see near the end of the year some new AirPods Pro 2. But it's just one of those things. But let's talk about then what we did see. So let's start then right at the beginning then. So they talked about these credit cards and things like this. One thing I'm a little bit disappointed about the credit cards is I'm living in the UK right now. It's not available here. It's only available in America. And, no disrespect to my American cousins over there. Great for you. Just disappointing for us that we don't have it. So it's a bit annoying there that they've not branched out to other countries. Now, I know there's rules and things, but, they can do it. So, yeah, but that's interesting how they are kind of merging people's credit scores together and the ability and the availability, and also that you can do the Apple credit card with your family now as well. So yeah, that is quite different what they're doing there. So yeah, we'll see what's going on there. The next thing that we also did a review about, or what we did also see, was the new iPhone. And just before I talk about the new iPhone, put down in the chat here, guys, any questions you want to put towards me. I'm just going to do, like I said, a summary of everything that we saw. Put your questions in the chat as well. And yeah, we'll talk a bit more about that. But yeah, let's talk about that iPhone. So yeah, purple color. It does look pretty cool, to be honest. Probably not the color I'd pick for me. I'm very happy with my iPad or my iPhone 12 Pro Max in the blue color. I really like that. But yeah, nice new color there. So yeah, the next thing that was talked about was the AirTags. Now this is a product we've been waiting for so long. So yeah, really excited about this. One thing they didn't talk about was how they're going to charge. So I'm going to check out Apple's website, or maybe somebody can check out on Apple's website now if it's come back online. How do you charge the AirTags? And let me know in the chat, because I'm talking to you guys and I can't multitask that well. So yeah, let me know how do the AirTags charge, because I don't know how they charge, or do they have a battery forever? I don't know. But yeah, I do love the customization that you can do with them. You can change the top of them and the print on them. That is pretty awesome. And also at the same time as well, I did like the ability you can buy just one, or you can buy a pack of 4. I think it's definitely worth buying a pack of 4 for 99 US dollars. That might seem quite a lot, but when you think about it, that's $25 each. And it's Apple, so maybe it could be worth it there. So yeah, I'm definitely going to buy an AirTag to review on this channel. And just to say that, guys, as well, I'm going to try and buy as much as this kind of Apple stuff that was announced today, and talk about that basically and do reviews of that. So yeah, if you want to share basically, if you want to put your hand in your pocket to help me out buy that equipment and do some great reviews for you guys, I'd really, really would appreciate that. And if you put a question in with that, I will definitely answer your question here on the chat with that. I'm not begging or anything. I'm just saying it's cost quite a lot to run this channel, and to buy Apple equipment, as you know, it's very expensive. So any sort of things do help out. So yeah, we'll see. But let's move on then. So one thing I was also just going to say is I've got some news about the giveaway on this channel that I will be talking about very, very soon after I just do my summary. But next of all then, the next thing that we saw was the Apple TV. Apple TV is Apple TV, isn't it, at the end of the day? It's got an A12 chipset inside it now, the A12 Fusion. So yeah, that's going to be really, really, really cool. Not Fusion, Bionic, A12 Bionic. So yeah, it's really good with the HDR support in that. So that is going to be really, really good to see. That's got that kind of HDR 4K experience. The next thing was the iMac, and this is going to take some time to talk about. But like I said, guys, put in the chat your questions about the Apple event, and like I said, any kind of super chat, I'll definitely make sure I'll try and answer as many questions as I can. But if you put anything in super chat, I will definitely answer your questions. So yeah, but the iMac, it was good to see that we got a new iMac. The only disappointing for me was straight away was design. I do like the flat design, I'll give you that, but the chin, why is the chin there? That chin could go. I would definitely have preferred an iMac, what was slightly thicker, and the chipset to be behind the screen, as it were, and the chin to disappear. Um, so yeah, it's a bit disappointing, but there again, it's quite iconic, isn't it, for the iMac for the last sort of, let's say, 15 years or so. It's had a chin ever since we had like the G4 iMac, or was it G5 or whatever it was, G5 iMac, whatever came out, before it even went into Intel chipsets inside it. They had a chin, and we've had it since then. That's how long ago we're talking about, 15, 16 years ago. So, yeah, the chin is a bit of a disappointment, definitely. Um, to say the least. But there again, it has got M1 inside it. M1 is super powerful, as we know. So that is really, really good to see. And yeah, I will try my best to get myself one of those new iMacs, and I will do a review for you guys on that one. The one thing I'm disappointed with the iMac again was the price, how much it's gone up to. But then, having said that, though, if you did check out Apple's website, I bet it's gone now. If you looked at the 4K 21-inch iMac, I think it started at 1299. Anyway, not there. They did sell an iMac, but didn't have a Retina display. So basically, they're kind of pushed up a bit by $100 US, but it is that argument, isn't it? You could get yourself a MacBook Air, or you can get yourself a Mac Mini and plug in a 27-inch display and get the same experience and the same speed and the same power. Why get that iMac? That is the big, big question. Just to say for Lemon Plays Productions here, what is the chin? The chin is the silver bit at the bottom of the iMac, if you don't know what that is. So that's the bit underneath the screen. So there's like a big silver sort of plate. And that, like I said, that's been iconic for years. But yeah, it's a bit disappointed that they've retained that. I did love the colours of the iPad. I think that's really cool. It's gone back to its roots again. Apple has, because it's like the original iMac back in the late 90s. So yeah, it's really, really cool that they have done that. But I will try my best to get one of those iMacs. Like I said, they're going to be available to pre-order at the end of this month, April 30th, and coming out in May. Like I said, it's going to cost quite a bit of money to get one of them, but I will definitely do a review for you guys. And like I said, if you wanted to support this channel, help me out, guys. And if you want to ask me any questions, put a super chat in, and yeah, any kind of thing like that, I'd really, really appreciative on that one. Next of all, then, so what did we have next? We had that cool thing of Tim Cook being the guy in the fuzzy hair, going down to steal the M1 chipset out of a MacBook Pro or MacBook Air, whatever it was, and then taking it out and dropping it into an iPad Pro. I don't know about you guys, but I thought that was my favourite moment of the event. Let me know in the chat what your favourite moment of the event was. But yeah, that was definitely something really, really cool that he did there. But let's talk about that iPad Pro for a moment then. So it's got the M1 chipset inside it. Now, this is something that we thought could happen, or the A14X. But there again, at the same time as well, with A14X, we always expected A14X to be the same speed as M1. So, you know, what's the point in calling something A14X if it's the same speed as M1? You get the idea. Just call it M1. Because basically that is what M1 is. It's basically just a few more cores of the power of A14. That's all it is. So kind of made sense to do that. I did really like the new iPad Pro. I do like the new cameras, like the tracking ability and everything. I also love that we've got Thunderbolt 4 inside it. Makes sense because M1's compatible with Thunderbolt 4 and everything. So that's really, really good. I love that new Super Retina display on the 12.9 inch. Shame it's not on the 11 inch, but you know, that distinguishes it. And it only costs $100 more. And I'm kind of happy about that. So I want to see that display in the flesh, obviously. But yeah, it's really, really cool that they've done that. But then it does beg the question, though, doesn't it? With that iPad Pro, if it's got an M1 in it, why buy that for $1,099 if a MacBook Air costs you $999 and you get a keyboard and mouse with that? It kind of doesn't make sense. I guess if you're a person who loves touchscreens and on the go and things like that, and if you need 5G connectivity on the go, yeah, it probably is worth it for you. But then if you want to use keyboard and mouse, you're going to have to buy the Magic keyboard accessory. And that's going to push you like $1,400 by that point. And it's like, well, then I should just bought myself a MacBook Air. So, yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one to what do I pick? So I'm not too sure about that, to be deadly honest. But like I said, it's disappointing that we didn't see a new iPad Mini 6. But yeah, I'd love to now basically love to open up the floor now to you guys with your questions. Tell me what would you like to know, and yeah, I've also got some exciting news about the giveaway as well, what I'm going to talk about in a minute. But let's have a few questions from you guys. Let's see what people are saying here. iPad Mini 6. Like I said, I've already spoken about that. It's disappointing that we didn't get that. Maybe we'll get it on later on in the year. But I don't think there'll be an Apple event for it unless there is going to be a whole new design. But we did see a leak. That was really interesting a few days ago of the iPad Mini 6. But there was no, it didn't come out. It doesn't make sense unless it just wasn't it, really. But it wasn't the actual new iPad Mini 6. But yeah, that was a disappointment, I would say. And like I said, straight away again, I'll say it. The iPad Mini 5 just makes no sense in the lineup if you can get yourself the iPad normal 8th generation for $329 US, and the iPad Mini 5 costs you $399 US, and it's smaller. No sense. Makes no sense to me what's going on there. Let's see what other questions that we got here then. M1x. Yeah. So we had no M1x announced. That was a bit of a disappointment, a bit of a blow. I believe, like I said, M1x is your next step up in chipset, or the M2 even. And I believe this is going to be reserved for that 14-inch MacBook Pro or that 16-inch MacBook Pro. And it's also going to be put in that 27-inch or rumored 32-inch iMac. That is where that chipset is going to go, because it's the next tier up. Like I said, if you go on Apple's website right now, check this out if you don't believe me, right? If you go to the 13-inch MacBook Pros, at the top, you'll find the M1 MacBook Pros. Scroll down, they still sell the Intel MacBook Pros, and they cost more. Because before M1 came out, there was two tiers of 13-inch MacBook Pros. There was the lower spec one and the higher spec one. And I believe, like I said, that top range 13-inch MacBook Pro is going to be replaced with an M1x chipset inside that MacBook Pro, and basically it will be that kind of price. So you'll have a 14-inch MacBook Pro, so it won't be 13, I bet that will be 14-inch. They'll keep the M1 13-inch, but there'll be a 14-inch MacBook Pro. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Just quickly there, Dino Australia. Oh man, thank you so much for that. Big appreciation. What's you saying here? Disappointed about the Mini, but at least it means you only have to buy one iPad to test out PUBG on the new Pro. Look forward to it. And like I said, Dino Australia, I will definitely be doing that. I will be getting an iPad Pro, and I'll be testing out some games like Call of Duty, mobile. I'll be testing out PUBG, all the top kind of popular games out there right now, what you can get on an iPad. And I'm going to check out the performance, frames per second, see if it stutters. You're going to see my awful, awful gameplay, so do apologise in advance. But I'm going to test it out and see how good it is on that. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, especially that PUBG can be quite a demanding game, to be fair. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Let's see what other people are asking any questions. Like I said, guys, I'm going to try and buy as much of this Apple stuff as I can, like the iPad Pro, like I just said to Dino Australia just there. And I'm also going to try my best to get the iMac, and I'm going to do reviews. But I'm not going to do your standard, this is the iMac, look how good it is. It's got a chin on it, it's got a new display. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to test what you want to see. You want to see Office running on the new iMac? Because that's what we all use? Let me know. You want me to run Chrome on it with 50 tabs open at the same time? I will do it. I will test it. Because that is what we use our MacBooks and our Macs for, isn't it? We don't just, oh, look at the display, it's great. We want to know how good it is, how good is the performance. I will be doing those tests for you guys, definitely, in upcoming videos. And I'll be doing the same with the iPad Pro as well. So I won't just be making the PUBG video, Dino Australia. There will be more on that one. So, yeah. But just quickly though, guys, before we go on any further, if you know what's coming, I want to talk about my giveaway that I have right here for this iPhone SE, what's coming up. Now, I've recently said in my videos, I'm going to give this away when we hit over 170,000 subscribers. Well, I've decided, guys, I'm going to change that. I'm going to now change that to 155,000 subscribers. And when we hit over 155,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away this iPhone SE to one lucky subscriber. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So when we get 155 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, I'll be giving it away. And yeah, I will be announcing in some of my videos who the winner is. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, make sure you do. You get the latest Apple news, reviews, and comparisons at the same time. And also hit the notification bell to look out for that video when it comes out around that time. And it could be you who gets your hands on this. I have given away loads of different Apple gear over the time. I've given away a iPhone 12 Pro, it was. I've given away AirPods Pro as well. I've also given away an iPhone XR, and I'm giving away this now. And then after that, there's going to be something special that's going to be coming. So yeah, make sure you do check out that. And what I'd love to know then is just put down in some of my videos, in my comments, basically what Apple gear or what are you planning to buy this year, what's going to be Apple. Put those in my videos here, not in the chat here, because I can't look at that constantly, because it's just constantly feeding. But yeah, put it inside one of my videos. Make sure, like I said, you subscribe, hit the notification bell. And when we get over 155,000 subscribers, I'll be announcing who the winner will be for this iPhone SE Space Gray 64 gigabyte. So yeah, that's my new big announcement. We're not doing 170 anymore. So yeah, cool. Chris Johnson, I gave you a naked hug. Not going to say anything to that. Next, let's see what other people's questions have here. Hey, when is the new iPad Pro being released and how much was it? So Icy Blue there, just to say that it's going to be able to be pre-ordered at the end of April. That's what they said, to the 30th, and it will be available the second half of May. So they haven't announced the date yet for when it'll be released, but I will be keeping an eye on that, and keep an eye on my channel because I'll be talking about when it gets released the second I know. And basically, when that comes out, yeah, I'll be basically doing a review of that, and like I said, doing those different reviews. The price of it starts at $799 for the 11-inch model, and then the what's it called model, the 12.9-inch. So I say 13-inch model there, but it's not. It's 12.9. To be specific. That will cost you $1,099. And the reason why it costs that kind of $99 over the last gen is because of that new display, what's inside the inside the iPad. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right. What else have we got here going? Let's see. Visha Suri says, be checked to check the mic quality of the new Apple products. I will be. I will be doing all this different tests and checks and stuff. And like I said, put them in the chat here of what things you'd like me to check out and test, and put them in the videos as well. I'll be doing a few straight away. But put in the comments what kind of things would you like me to check out on the new iPads and new Macs and stuff, and yeah, or even AirTags, and yeah, and I'll be making videos for you guys to see what they are capable of. So yeah, it's really exciting stuff. Next thing as well, unknown player, will the rumored iMac 32-inch have the same chin? Good question. Good question. Apple have a tendency to, it's tricky. I'm going to contradict myself completely what I'm about to say. Apple have the tendency to keep the same designs for their models, what they bring out. But there again, sometimes they don't. Being that the iMac technically is a brand new design, I'm going to do that, it's a brand new design. Yeah, I hate to say it, it's probably likely you're going to get the chin, because that kind of design and the architecture underneath, where they put the screen, where they put the chipset and the speakers and everything, it's probably going to be very similar on the 32-inch iMac with the M1x inside it, or M2 inside it. So I'm going to say probably that chin is going to be there. Like I said, maybe Apple are thinking that chin is now iconic for them. You know, that they've had it around, that chin's been around, like I said, since like the PowerPC G5, or came out like 2004, 2005-ish. And they've kept that design, that chin, ever since then, all the way up to now, and they've still got it. So I don't think it's going, and it's sad. I like I said, I'm not a fan of the chin. I'll be deadly honest. So yeah, I am disappointed it will be going. But we'll have to wait to see. Let's see what other people are saying here. Sudia Samuel, also the speakers and the new cameras they are very proud of. Yes, they did talk a long time, didn't they, about those speakers and that camera, the 1080p camera. I will be checking that out. And like I said, with the iPad Pro, I'll be checking out that new camera moves around ultra wide when I will be checking that out. Definitely for you guys. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Let's see what other questions we have here from you guys. Um, Infernity, could you definitely test the AirTags? I think of buying a few, but not sure. Yes, I will be. I probably only going to buy one. Probably attach them to my keys. So I'm not going to buy a pack of four. That, they all do the same thing, don't they? So I'm going to test one. I'll buy one, definitely. And yeah, we'll see how well they work. The question is where am I going to lose them? I live kind of semi out in the country here, on the edge of kind of an urban, and I've got loads of fields about a quarter of a mile away from me. So what do? Chuck this AirTag into the middle of a field somewhere, guessing, run away home, get my phone, and see where the tag is. I'm guessing. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting video to make, and I'm going to have to think about that one. But yeah, I will be testing out the AirTags though. Let's have a look. Sondu Fonesca, if I said your name right, apologies if I haven't. I wish there was some more colours for the iPad Pro. I agree. I totally agree. They did it with the iPad Air, didn't they? We got the blue, we got the green, we got the pink, and then they've done it with the iMac as well. And they haven't for that. And it's just weird. But then, having said that, let me show you something here. Look at this. So this here is an iPod. Yeah. If you don't remember these, do you remember these guys? Do you remember iPods? And this iPod, when it came out, was black and white, and it was the only color you could pick, black or white. Very boring. But around that time of that iPod came out, this was around at the same time. And this was called the Ipod Mini. And this came in loads of different colors. But the Ipod Mini was kind of the cheaper device, as it were. Maybe Apple are kind of going back to that kind of same sort of route. Again, on one light over here. Basically, that the cheaper device, as it were, like, for example, the iPad Air, even though it's not that cheap, and say the kind of Mac, the Mac iMac standard, they're going to keep those colors multicolored, but the Pro and the top line, no, space gray, silver, that's the only colors you can get. Sorry. So maybe that's the reason. Like I said, they did that with the iPod originals, kind of sort of thing. They kept it like that. So maybe they're going back down that route. That would be my opinion on that. What else here? Balas Kazangia, if I can pronounce your name right here. Sorry, Pod. Why would anyone remove the Apple logo from the front? I did think the same, to be honest, with that new iMac. It'd been good if they kept the Apple logo on it. It looks a bit plain now, doesn't it? Do you know what it looks like? I hate to say this, tell me off. It looks like a Chinese copy of an iMac, doesn't it? They couldn't use the Apple logo, so they took it away. That's what it looks like a bit, doesn't it? So I'm a bit disappointed. Yeah, they took that away from the chin. I like that as well. I did like the Apple logo. It'd be good if it was in the colour as well. But yeah, I'll tell you one thing I did like about the new iMac, and I will tell you this, and that is they kind of added a MagSafe power into the back. That's cool. And then it was also cool that the power adapter could have an Ethernet cable go into it. It just feeds all up. I did like that. So you got even more of a clear desk. That I thought was really cool. To me, that sounds silly. That was my actual highlight. That's how excited I was about the iMac, was the actual power adapter. That revolution they've done there. That's the stuff I love from Apple. It's that kind of inventive sort of things, the power cable, how that works. I know it sounds quite sad, doesn't it? That's what I got excited about, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? Let me know if you were excited about the power cable inside the chat. Tell me. So yeah, what else have we got here? Would you do a revised review of the iPad Air 4? And that's from Edward Hanna. Possibly. What I might do is I might do a comparison. What I might do is do a comparison of the 11-inch iPad and also the 10.9-inch iPad Air. Because what is it? There's only is it $100 or $200? Something like that. Very small amount of money in it. And they're basically the same size. In fact, hilariously, they are the same size. It's just the border, the bezel around the iPad Air is slightly thicker to make it 10.9-inch. No idea why they just make it 11 inches. Doesn't make any sense if the if it's basically the same thing, same chassis as an iPad Pro 11-inch. that always bothered me. But yes, I could probably do a comparison maybe. So yeah, I might look into that. So yeah, that will be pretty cool on that one. What else have we got here? What other people are saying? Um, Did they take away the Apple logo from the new iPad? That was from Faisal Out 06. I think it was on there. I think it was on there. I'm sure it was on the back. Quite sure. Have a look on Apple's website. Because obviously, if you scroll through it, you'll see the picture of the back and the front. I'm quite sure it is on the back of it. But yeah, what else have we got here? Should I do an Air versus the Mini versus the Pro? Well, we know what will come last. And that will be the Mini because it's so old now, the chipset inside that. It's over 2 years old. Remember, A12 it's 2.5 years now. So definitely won't win now, I'm afraid to say. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to do the comparison definitely against the iPad Air and the iPad Pro, 11-inch. Definitely, we know the 12-inch was a different ball game altogether. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it's worth paying that extra money to get the iPad Pro and everything, or if it's the other way around. Why does the iPad Air exist if the iPad 11-inch Pro exists and it's got Thunderbolt 4, slightly bigger display, ever so slightly, and they've got M1 inside it, and the performance is way bigger. So we'll see. We'll see. What is a here we go? Dino Australia. What is Apple TV? Is it an actual TV box that you plug into your current smart TV? Yeah, you pretty much summed it up. Yeah. Apple TV is a box that connects into your TV. What the idea of Apple TV is, if your TV is not a smart TV, then you can connect it in it. But then again, you wouldn't be able to play the Apple games, to AirPlay them and things like this. I say that, but then again, you can AirPlay some games to some smart TVs. I guess it's giving that stability and keeping it all inside the kind of ecosystem. So yeah, it's a bit tricky. But yeah, it's just a box. But then, like for example, I have a Samsung TV, and guess what? There's an app on my Samsung TV called the Apple TV app. Open that up, and you get like Apple TV Plus and other things. So, like I said, the box, it's going to be interesting to see how far Apple are going to keep updating the Apple TV box going forwards. It'd be cool if they actually made it like into like a mini games console or something. Maybe that'll happen one day. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of losing its touch of that. If you haven't got a smart TV, you can plug this in, because more people than not, I would say, have a smart TV now. So it's a bit of a weird push on that. So we'll have to wait and see. Sandu Fonesco, what color iMac would I get? What color do you think I should get? There's a question. I like the blue, to be honest. I do like that nice dark blue. It goes well with my iPhone, I think. So, or do you think I should get something different? Let me know. Tell me in the chat. But yeah, from my point of view, I do really like the blue, to be honest. What else here? You're also forgetting that Apple TV is also a hub for your Apple Home and your Apple connected devices. That is true, but you can operate all of your... You can control all of that stuff through your phone. It's tricky, isn't it? It's complicated, because some devices just technically just work in the cloud, don't they? They connect back to the cloud and then of their own cloud offering, and then your phone can connect through the app or through the home TV kit stuff through back to those people. So it's tricky. But I don't know about you, but a lot of people either use Amazon or Google's, use the Nest, or I'm going to probably set everyone's off now. Everyone's Alexa service. Sorry, didn't want to shout too much. But Amazon's Echo service, sorry, to do a lot of their smart TVs, smart things. So yeah, it's interesting. If the Apple TV, the Apple TV is a hub, but there are other devices out there. I will say that it's something I think Apple have found it quite hard to get into that market with, like the HomePod and the HomePod Mini and everything there. Let's see then. Any more questions do we have here? Do you think that the iPad Mini 6 will be released this year? It has to be deadly honest. Come on. It's over 2 years old already. It's either that the iPad Mini 6 has to come out, or the iPad Mini 6, there will be no iPad Mini 6. And what I mean by that, there'll be no iPad Mini 5 anymore. They'll stop selling it, and that's it. iPad Mini disappears completely. But from the sounds of it, sales of the iPad Mini up until about 6-7 months ago, because people it's getting a bit old now, when's a new one coming out? it was strong, the sales. I remember reading about it online that the sales were still really strong for the iPad Mini. So yeah, they do need to bring one out. I'm quite shocked. Maybe they'll do, like I said, I bet you they'll probably do a silent release where, for example, you'll go on Apple's website one day and they'll go, ta-da, here's the new iPad Mini 6. I bet that's what they'll do. I do not think there'll be an event for it personally, because what are you going to talk about? Unless they completely change the design, but looking at recent leaks that we saw, there isn't going to be a change in the design. So I think they're just going to just update it on the silent and go, oh, it's got A13 or A14 in it. And it will probably retain its price. So we will see. We will see. What else is people saying here? Who is getting the iPad Pro 1 terabyte and also 16 gigabytes of RAM? Remember, the iPad Pro also has 2 terabyte options now. Wow, that is big, isn't it? For an iPad Pro. But definitely shows they're really trying to push it. It's a Pro model now, and it can replace your MacBook. They're really pushing on that, aren't they? But the amount of RAM, yeah, wow, 16 gigabytes of RAM. Was it up to, or was it standard? I can't remember what it said now. I'll have to check it out after the stream. But if anybody else knows if it's up to 16 gigabytes or if it is 8 gigabytes standard, let me know. But yeah, what a powerful amount of RAM inside it. But I guess M1 runs on 8 gigs of RAM on MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros and the Mac Mini as the basic, and then you can upgrade to higher. So it kind of does make sense when you do think about it. So yeah, we will see. We will see. Let's see what other people here have said. Let's have a look. Will there be a change for OS on the iPad? Well, and that's from Melissa Wong. Well, that's the thing. I don't think there will be. Sorry, just bear with me a second. I don't think. I don't know. It's tricky. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I can't really answer that one. Sorry, I really can't. We'll have to see. Anyway, let's move on and see what other people are just saying here. I like the purple iMac. I did like the purple iMac as well. That was quite a nice color. So yeah, well, I might pick that color. I'll probably get the blue. But sorry, I'm still thinking about that iPad OS question. I'd like to say yes, they would put Mac OS on it. It makes sense. But then iOS is designed for touchscreens. You got me thinking here. Really have. But then they did just bring out iPad OS like 2 years ago, didn't they? They cut it off from iOS, but technically it is iOS. It's called iPad OS, and it's bigger screens, wide screens, and you've got your widgets on the side more now, and that's it really. But no, I personally think I think they'll keep with iPad OS the way it is now, the iOS design for now. Maybe in a couple of years they might make it to a Mac OS, but then it's that whole thing again. I don't know. I'm not going to go into it. It's too tricky to think about, but we'll have to wait and see. What else are people saying here? Who would buy a 2 terabyte iPad Pro when you can buy the same next year's iPad Pro with M1x? Well, that's a good point. Unknown player. My predictions: 32-inch iMac Pro. Maybe, yeah, because they did take away the iMac Pro recently, didn't they? Will be released in October with a matte black cover and the same color, but the color exists right now, I'm guessing, and the same design as the. Do you mean the same design as the current new iMac or the old iMac? But it will have an M1x chipset inside it. Yeah, I reckon your prediction's probably quite correct there. You're probably close to it. Maybe a bit earlier, maybe September they might bring it out. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, there will be the new M1X and M2 probably coming out the end of this year. When do you think the new MacBook Pro M1X is to launch? That's from Deathwish. Like I said, I believe that will be at the end of this year. It's not going to be before this summer. MacBooks, if you go back through Apple's history, again, I always refer to this. It's the best way to find out when Apple stuff's going to come out. Look at their history, right? So, for example, in past years, MacBooks, when they do an event, have always generally There has been the odd exception, so don't come here, but generally have been released around October, November time. So most likely Apple will be sticking with that plan. Just like the iPhone is generally, and I say generally, is released now kind of end of September, October time. Now, last year was an exception, and we know why, because of COVID. But generally, that's when it comes out. And you kind of get this. You kind of know when they're going to kind of properly pop it when it's going to come along. So, yeah, M1X, MacBook Pros, iMacs, and everything like that, second half of the year. I don't think we're going to see them before the summer, personally. I think from the event we saw today, WWDC is going to stick to the whole software front. So the new Mac OS, whatever that's going to be called, iOS 15, the new iPad OS, new Wear OS as well, your Apple Watch. That will all be announced at WWDC because there was not really, they talked about, oh, this runs on Big Sur, oh, this runs on iPad OS, but they didn't talk about the features really, apart from the current features that exist, no new features. And WWDC is generally mainly all about software. They have had the occasional hardware drops in previous years, but generally software related. So that will probably be talked about in the summer, and I bet that'll be another virtual event, probably the next event that I'll be doing with you guys. Let's have a look. What else are we saying here? iPad 9, not yet, I'm afraid to say. iPad 9th generation, it's too early. Too early. We just had the 8th generation come out back in September. They probably won't. They won't update it. Probably the end of this year. The earliest, I would say on that one. Let's see what else people are saying here. When is WWDC? It's in June. It's in June time. I can't remember the date. They do have a date. Someone knows the date. Put it in the chat because I can't remember what it was on the top of my head. I saw it earlier today, but I can't remember what it is. But yeah, it is going to be in June time. So that will be the next event I'll be doing a live stream about. What else do other people are saying here? Yes, I think I got the message here, 47. You're waiting for the iPad Mini 6. You're waiting for the iPad Mini 6. Quite a lot of you guys are. And like I said, I bet it will be a silent release later on this year. It won't be before then on that one. Let's have a look. The new keyboard is just a new color, or has it changed? I'm guessing you're talking about the iMac one here, and that's from Avena. I'm guessing from the looks of it, it looks like it's the same keyboard. But it'd be cool if it's the Magic Keyboard. So if anyone here's got a new MacBook Air or the M1 or MacBook Pro or even the 16-inch MacBook Pro or even the MacBook Air that came out earlier in 2020 at the beginning half, it's got the Magic Keyboard now inside it and it's much better and stronger. I believe Apple wouldn't miss a trick there. I bet they put that keyboard inside those new keyboards for the iMac. And that iMac also has the Touch ID now, which is really, really good. So that is another big difference, obviously, to turn on your machine and everything with your fingerprints. The actual mouse, Magic Mouse, for example, is just the same, just got some color around it, but I don't think that has changed at all. But yeah, the keyboard definitely has changed, I bet, and I reckon it's got that new Magic Keyboard design inside it. Right, what else have we got here? What people are saying here? AirPods, and the AirPods 3 and the AirPods 2, when are they coming out? Very good question. I thought the AirPods 3 could have come out just now. I'll be honest with you, I was kind of 60-40. So what I mean is 60% thinking they're not, 40% they might. Probably, they will come out more like. And in the end, yeah, they didn't come out. But that's not a big deal, to be deadly honest. At the end of the day, AirPods 2 literally came out about 2 years ago, literally. So they are due a refresh. This would probably be the earliest they would have refreshed them was today. But AirPods 3, I'm very sure will be out this year. I don't know when they'll be out this year, I'll be deadly honest. I think it will be the second half of the year again. Whether there'll be a big announcement, it'll be an event or not, I don't know. If they do what they did last year, where they had 3 events at the end of the year, where they did the Apple Watch and they did the iPad, and then they did that as one event, and then they did the HomePod and the iPhone as one event, and then they did the M1 Max as one event. It'll probably pop up in one of those events. If they're only going to do, say, 2 events, or one of them, they won't do one event. If they do 2 events, then yeah, it probably might be a silent release, I'd call it, on the Apple website, where they just overnight go, oh, we've got the AirPods 3, buy them now. A bit like what they did with the AirPods Max. Remember the AirPods Max, the headphone ones? They came on, And basically, yeah, they just went, oh, here we go, like that, and they appeared overnight. So yeah, it's possibly the same here. Sushi and Beyond has said, do you think the new iPad Pro can support Final Cut Pro 10? They didn't release a new Apple Pencil. Disappointed. You know something there, Sushi and Beyond. You hit it on the nail there. It's a saying here. They've got to bring out Final Cut Pro on the iPad Pro. Pro. It's got iMovie. It makes no sense. If it's a Pro, Final Cut Pro, and I completely agree. I was half expecting, if you watch my stream here, I said that. I actually said, where's Final Cut Pro? They need to bring it out on the iPad Pro. It makes sense. It makes complete and utter sense, especially when they showed in the stream that you can record yourself and things like this. Yeah, I'm a professional. Let me just use iMovie. You know, that's like saying I'm a professional photographer. Let me just edit your photo in Paint. Not saying there's anything wrong with Paint. I love Paint on Windows. But you'd use Photoshop, wouldn't you? You'd use something professional. You don't use the basic one to kind of do your professional videos on. I would love them to bring that out. And I'm really hoping that WWDC is possibly the place we're going to see it because it's all about software. So fingers super crossed they do bring out Final Cut Pro on the iPad, and the iPad Pro can utilize that because it makes sense with the massive storage and also at the same time as well with the Thunderbolt 4 connectivity with other devices. So yeah, fingers crossed, and this great display as well, obviously, to see all your movies. Your other thing, what you asked about, the Apple Pencil. Again, Apple Pencil 2 only came out last year. Was it last year or was it the year before? Sure, it was last year, wasn't it? Yeah, came out last year. I'm quite sure it did. When what's his name? Craig, wasn't it? He didn't show up on the event, did he? But Craig showed it then when he showed off the new iPad at that point. And because of that, because it's only a year old, I had a feeling it wouldn't come out. It's one of those things, and that's the whole thing as well with Apple Pencil. What more can you do with it? The only thing I think is you can make the bit when it touches the screen to be much more sharper and much more quicker and responsive. But they just talked about that last year, and they said how much better and quicker it is compared to the original Pencil. I don't think they are there yet when Apple Pencil 3. Maybe next year, Apple Pencil 3. But personally, I think Apple Pencil 3 would be the year after. So I know I'm disappointing people here. Apple Pencil 3, in my mind, in my head, 2023, not 2022. That would be my thoughts personally. But it just doesn't make sense at the moment. What other people are saying here? Let's have a look here. iPad Pro can get a storage of up to 2 terabytes, but iMac gets only 512 gigabyte. What is going on? Good question, unknown player, but I think I have you an answer. You've got to remember here, okay, even though the iPad Pro is cheaper, right, than the iMac, yes, it does have the same chipset, but you're looking at that word at the end of the iPad, Pro. Pro means professional, bigger. I need more things. So for example, just like the iPhones right now, the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max has a bigger storage option compared to basically the normal iPhone. The best comparison I would actually use it against is say the iPhone SE. The iMac, which just been announced today, is the equivalent of the iPhone SE. Like I have right here, what I'm going to be giving away on my channel. I'll talk again about that in a minute, but in my giveaway. But the iPhone SE is a 64 gigabyte model, and basically the Pro, you know, you can get a 512 gigabyte iPhone 12 Pro Max, way bigger. And that is the big thing. The iMac is designed, as it were, this iMac was coming out, is for your standard user. And this is what M1's all about in my head. It's the tiering system. I'm going to be bringing out a video very, very soon. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, by the way, about this. And I'm going to be talking about what I believe where Apple's tiering system is going to come out. So I believe we have M1. M1 sits at the bottom of your tiers right now. I'm spoiling my video here, by the way. Where basically it's your basics with MacBooks. Okay, stick with me. So basically you've got your MacBook Air. You've got your MacBook Pro bottom line. Remember, they still sell the 13-inch top line MacBook Pros when Intel chipset was actually slower than M1. But before M1 came out, like I said, it was the slower Intel chips, and then you had the higher spec Intel chips. So you've got that, and you've also got the Mac Mini Basic. Same thing with the Mac Mini as well, by the way. There's a top spec Mac Mini that's still for sale on Apple website with Intel in it. And you'll hear me out here, this is what I mean. M1X is the next tier up, as it were. So those kind of devices I just spoke about, the Mac Mini, the iMacs, the MacBook Air, MacBook Pro Basic, they're for your kind of standard users, okay? They're your kind of people who are not fully professional, as it were, even though you could use them at a professional level, and they are faster than the Intel equivalent. But M1X is the next tier up. So basically, what I'm trying to say is with M1X, it will be put inside like the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Because, compare, again, back in the Intel days, before we got to M1, compare the 13-inch MacBook Pro to the 16-inch MacBook Pro. The 13-inch MacBook Pro didn't even have a dedicated graphics card. The Intel one did. It had to use its shared one with Intel. It's rubbish, to be honest. Whereas the 16-inch MacBook Pro has a dedicated one. And I'm not saying you're going to get a dedicated one in the 16-inch, but you get me. The power difference was so much more. You got dual core and quad core, where you had 6-core and 8-core in the Intel 16-inch. You see the differences? Same thing as well with the Intel 21.5-inch iMac and the 27-inch iMac. You had dual core, quad core, and then you had 6-core, 8-core, inside the 27-inch iMac. It's the next tier up, as it were. So that's that. And you can imagine what I'm going to say next. There's a tier above that one. And that tier is what I believe is where the Mac Pro, remember, the big tower PC, will sit. It'll be the one even above that tier, because that's a super powerful Mac, as it were. So that's what that one will be. But like I said, I've just kind of spoiled my whole video I'm going to be watching. But make sure you do watch my video. I'll give you more details, and I'll draw pictures as well. I'll draw a graph of what I'm talking about. But that is what I believe is going to be happening at the end of the year. Whether they're going to call that Mac M2, now that's another question what people have been asking me. Is M2 that next tier? In my head, no, it's not. I believe M2, I think we're going to get M1X, M1, M1X, and then we're probably going to get M1Z in that Mac Pro, possibly. But then I believe we're going to get a M2, M2X, and M2Z. Now, the reason why I say M2 is follow Apple's route with iPhones, for example. Let's go back to the iPhone 4, where we had the A4 chip. That came out next year, iPhone 4S, A5. Next year, iPhone 5. And then you had the A6. Next year after that, iPhone 6S, A7. Do you see what I'm doing here? A4, A5, A6, A7. I believe Macs are going to do the same. Apple like to use and borrow the same kind of ideas to keep things simple. M1's the thing that we're going to have in 2020, 2021, that overlap. End of 2021 into 2022 will be M2. End of 2022 into 2023, M3. Do you see what I mean? That is what I believe is going to happen. And it kind of makes sense. And like I said, that's why I think you're going to get the X and the Z variety, because, again, Apple has shown in the past, when they've made an X or a Z variety, it has more cores, has more power, as it were. It gives you more ability. And again, it makes sense for them to do that because they've done it already and it works. So, my opinion, that's my personal opinion, what I believe that they will be doing on that one. But yeah, sorry I dragged on to that. But like I said, check out the video when I'm going to do that. But just going back there just very quickly, guys, like I said, I'm going to be doing this giveaway now. Now, if you've been watching my videos, I said I'll be giving this away at 170,000 subscribers. And I've changed my mind. It's going to be 155,000 subscribers now. So like I said, make sure in one of my videos to put down, not in the chat here, but on my actual videos, what is going to be your next Apple equipment that you're planning to buy, product you're going to buy this year. Let me know in the actual comments, and make sure, again, you subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, because I'll be announcing who the winner is at that time, and you don't want to miss that. So that's why you want to be a subscriber. So yeah, just a quick little push in there. But let's go back to some questions here, what other people are asking. People going, I wonder how powerful the M2 would be. It will be operating spaceships then. It already is. No. Yeah, very, very good point. It's going to be, I'm guessing, generally what happens is not with the more cores, but if you look at differences in the past, how Apple do, normally each year's chipsets go up by either 30 to 40% faster. So, for example, A12, Apple A12, and A13 was, I think it was 30% faster. And then again, this year with A13, or this last year, and the last year, A13 to A kind of 14, it was the same thing again. It was kind of like a 30% leap. And that is in it. And remember, the chipsets are getting smaller and smaller as well. The nanometer process die is getting smaller. So they can push a bit more power out of the chipsets. So yeah, there will be a bit more stronger. But that, again, is not a thing to think in your head that you're going to have to, as it were, buy yourself a new MacBook every year. MacBooks last, okay, guys? At the end of the day, remember right now, Apple are still supporting some 2012 MacBooks right now and Macs that exist and 2013 ones. You know, we're talking like 8 years ago, Macs, and they still support it with Big Sur. It's not like iOS where they kind of support it for 4 or 5 years. So it will be long. But don't, like I said, don't that discourage you that you go, oh, I bought myself a new M1 Mac and oh, M2 is coming out later this year. Oh, I'll buy that one, I'll sell this one. Because, like I said, only probably be about a 20-30% increase. And it will be the same with M1X to, say, M2X. There'll probably only be like about a 30% increase between those two types, as it were. And that's how it will probably most likely work. The other thing as well is the question is will they update M2 the end of this year, or will we see M2 next year? Maybe they know that they don't want people to, not know they want people to, but it's more that it's hard to keep upgrading your Mac every year and they're more expensive. So maybe they might, as it were, pause and bring out like M2 or the new M chipset sign of every 18 months instead of every year. We'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out this year. Let's go back to the questions again. They need to bring out a 12-inch MacBook now that has M1 chips in it. That's a good point, Angel. I thought they were, because they had that 12-inch MacBook. Who remembers here the MacBook that came out in 2015? The one that was kind of semi-cursed, because it was really weird. It came out, 12-inch MacBook, had one USB port on it, USB-C port on it as a charger and to do everything else. That was a bit weird. But then at the same time as well, it cost more than a MacBook Air at the time. Obviously, the MacBook Air didn't have a Retina display when it came out, but it cost more, and it was slower as well. It was slower than the MacBook Air. Yeah, it would cost you more. That's Apple logic for you. But it was thin. That's the thing. It was thin. Apple was saying it had no fan. That's the other thing Apple was saying. So it's a good idea, but I think now because the MacBook Air exists and it's fanless, it's got M1 inside it, it wouldn't make much sense to bring one out now. I did think at one point it did make sense to do it, but now I more think about it. It only cost about $100 less for slightly less screen. And people, this is the thing, people would go to themselves, well, do I just spend $100 more and get myself a 13-inch MacBook Air? Or the other way around, do I just spend $100 less? So what? Let's get a 12-inch screen instead of a 13-inch screen. It doesn't make sense. That's what I mean. So I don't think a 12-inch MacBook will probably come out. I think they've missed that chance, as it were. Let's see what else people are saying here. Glad to see an updated TV. Did we see a new pencil? And that's from Adam Harding. It was good to see a new TV. Yeah, it's good to update that for the people who still don't have smart TVs or love using Apple TVs like that Apple Hub and abilities and stuff. So yeah, it was really good. There was no new Apple Pencil, unfortunately, but the reason is because the last Apple Pencil only came out last year. And then the time they updated the Apple Pencil before that was 3 years before. So what I'm trying to say is most likely the Apple Pencil probably won't be updated for probably another 2 years. Most likely. Definitely not this year. Maybe the end of next year. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't think they'll be updating it within a year from now, as it were. I don't think you'll see it between now and February next year. I don't think you'll see it. So I say February because they might do a March event. That's why I say that. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see a new Apple Pencil till then. What else are people saying here? I was waiting for the AirPods Pro 2 only. When will they be coming out, do you think, Matt? And that's from Casper D. Crook. And my answer to that is I think it will be the end of this year. I've already mentioned this already on my on here and on my channel. Personally, I think because like last year Apple did 3 virtual events, that they'll probably do something very similar this year, where they'll cram in something like the Apple Watch, maybe a new iPad 9th generation, and probably the AirPods into one event. And then the next event, they'll do the iPhones and maybe with something else. And then they'll do the Macs in the next event. So that is what I personally believe where you'll see them at that event. And I think you're going to see the AirPods 3 and the AirPods Pro 2 at that. But we'll keep an eye on leaks coming out. And like I said, I'll be making loads more videos about that when we hear the latest leaks. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. And like I said, when those videos come out, you'll get them. And I'll tell you more information when soon, the moment I hear them, basically. Let's see what else people are saying here. Unknown player, an Apple logo right in the middle of that chin would have been great. Would have been great. Yeah. Like I said earlier, if you were earlier in this chat, I said it looks a bit weird now that the Apple logo is missing on the bottom of the iMac on that metal bar. It's called the chin, if you didn't know. That's what we call it. To be honest now, it looks like I'm going to say this. It looks a bit like a knockoff iMac, doesn't it? It looks like a copy iMac, and they can't put the Apple logo on because of copyright reasons. So now, do you know what will happen now? Though, I'll just say that you'll get the fake company out there who will put the Apple logo now on it, or something. Or I've just had here an idea for somebody. If you want to get rich quick, okay, create a sticker in the color of the iMacs that you can stick on the middle of your iMac chin. I've just made someone very rich just then. So, get going now, quickly. Yes, you do get the white sticker inside your box, don't you, of iMacs and Macbooks and whatever, but not a coloured one. So, yeah, I've just made someone very, very rich there. Make coloured ones of the iMacs and sell them on eBay or whatever. And then basically you're going to get super rich because people want that Apple logo back in the middle of the chin. So, yeah, on that one. Sendu Fusco, I have a MacBook from 2013 and 2019. Cool, that's good. Yeah, they're good Macs still. Let's see what else people are saying here. How are they going to do discrete graphics? That's from Kyle Dodds. Good question. I don't actually know how they're going to do that. And like I said, I don't know what the power of the M1X is going to be in graphics. They're going to have to really step it up. Because M1 graphics, if anyone knows this, is actually the power of that graphics is only about slightly more powerful than an Xbox 360. Yeah, you heard me right there. I said Xbox 360, not an Xbox One. It's about a bit more powerful than that in gigawatts kind of power. It's not that good. So, yeah. Or maybe let me put it another way for you. Do you know that graphics card out right now? If you know your graphics cards, called the GTX 1030. Yeah, it's slightly more powerful than that. It's not as powerful as the GTX 1050, not even the GTX 1050 Ti. All right, the 1050 standard. It's not as powerful as that. If there was such thing as a 1040 GTX, it's probably as powerful as that. So it's not that good. So this is what I mean. And then you've got your MacBook Pro 16-inch, whatever. You're going to have to put a powerful graphics in because the AMD dedicated ones are really powerful. So you're going to have to put something in much more powerful for M1X, definitely. Let's see what other people are also saying here. Sudi Asamo says you'll get sued for Peugeot for stealing the Apple logo. Yeah, that's true, but you can go as far as you want. I bet you could sell a couple of hundred of those Apple logos in different colours before you get it. So you'll get yourself a good few $100 or whatever your currency is in your country. You'll get a good few of them before. So, it's worth doing that sticker. I was going to say, guys, I'm only going to probably do about another 5 or 10 more minutes on this stream because we've been going on talking now for over an hour. So, yeah, let's have a few more questions from you guys. And see what people are saying here. So yeah, let's do 5 more questions. Let's do a few more questions, and then I'm going to wrap up now. Do you have any ideas about the release date of the 16-inch ARM-based MacBook Pro? Like I said, if you've just listened to me about 10 minutes ago, I said I believe we're going to see the new MacBook Pros the end of this year. I reckon there'll be 3 events again where you'll get like the Apple Watch and maybe Airpods or something together, and an iPad maybe. And then after that, you will probably get the iPhone event with maybe something else, and then probably you'll get the Mac event again, and in that one will be where you'll see the new 16-inch MacBook Pro with an M1X or M2 inside it. So yeah, let's see another question then. When do you think that the Apple Glass and Apple Car are going to come out? Whew, that's a good deep question. Now, you just saw it in the event there. I'm pointing over there because that's where I was watching it, by the way. So the Apple are really pushing on AR. Look at that iPad Pro we just saw today. They're really talking about AR and things. And they brought up AR companies over the last year. They're really massive fans of AR. So I believe that that's the idea of the glasses. They will be AR. They won't be VR. Virtual reality is when there's screens completely in front of you. You're in a different world. I believe Apple want to keep you in your world, but help you in your world. That's what they're all about, their products. They're helping you in our world. So I believe that there will probably be a headgear first, not glasses. And I believe that will probably come out possibly next year. I really do. Whereas Apple Glass, the actual glasses, probably maybe the year after. That would be my bet. But I don't know. That's what leaks are basically saying. They're working on it. Apple Car, now that's tricky because you keep hearing things about Apple talking with Kia, Apple's talking with Hyundai, Apple's talking with this company and this company, every company but Tesla. And yet, then they go, the talks are finished. So it's wondering, well, what are they talking about? They might just be talking about CarPlay and the compatibility, but we don't know. If they are going to bring out a car, I don't think you're going to see it till 2025. But then one could argue, by that point, are you too late to the party? Lots of countries, like the country I live in now, the country I live in now I'm always going to live in probably, the UK, we're pushing big time on electric cars. All car makers are bringing out an electric car or hybrid car, and they're coming out this year or next year, and they're changing all their range. And that's the thing. I think Apple they need to join the party now. If they're going to bring out an Apple car, it has to come out in the next year, 18 months, max. Otherwise, I think you missed the party. I think it's too late. They've got to do it. But we'll see. We'll see. They might just drop the idea completely. Let's see what other people are saying here. Magic Keyboard 2. I don't think so, personally, there'll be a Magic Keyboard 2, because basically the Magic Keyboard only just came out last year with the 16-inch MacBook Pro first, and then they started putting it in the Air, and then the MacBook Pro 13-inch. You get your idea. They've done it. They switched them all over. And there's not been as many complaints, hardly any as many complaints as the butterfly keyboard, because the butterfly keyboard, oof, I had one, and I have had one go wrong, sadly. It got stuck. I think it was my W or my E key on the top, wouldn't press. I had to go. They had to change the whole chassis on my MacBook. And yeah, but there hasn't been that as many problems now with the Magic Keyboard, so I don't think there'll be a Magic Keyboard 2 anytime soon. Not yet. I think it's going to be a good few years for that. Right, let's take on, let's say, 3 more questions. And then basically and I'm going to wrap up for them. So let's have a look. Personalized Tech House. Do you think the iPad Pro is worth $300 more for better screen, 11-inch to the 12.9-inch? Good question. Let's go back. I'll take that question by basically saying this, that with the 11-inch last generation, it was a $200 difference. It was $799 and $999. And basically, you got the identical thing, just a bigger screen. Now, that's the point, isn't it? You're going to get, in performance, there is no difference between those two MacBooks from last generation. And then let's move that to this year. There's no difference in performance. You're going to get Thunderbolt 4. You're going to get M1. You're probably going to get the same amount of RAM options as well. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. The only difference, I think they said, is the 12.9-inch can have 2 terabytes of storage, but how many of you are going to be buying that 2 terabyte iPad Pro 12.9? But the point is, we're talking about the base models here. I think we're going to have to see how good that display is. Personally, if you want the full iPad Pro experience, I would say the 11-inch to get that speed, because that's what the Pro is about. It's about the speed, the power. Yes, the screen is great, don't get me wrong, but the screen's going to have to wow you. That's what I mean. We're going to have to wait till we get our hands on it to see how amazing really that is. So we'll have to wait. We'll see. But I would personally, right now, until I do a review, I'd be picking the 11-inch until I see that screen. That's what I'd have my eyes on. Or the other way, let's put it another way, because I'm a sucker and I'm going to buy one and do a review. I would wait to the reviews. Wait to the reviews and see if people are saying, is it really worth it? Because like myself, I bet loads of other YouTubers out there are going to do the same. We're going to make videos going, is it worth getting a 12.9 with this better screen over the 11-inch, and we will talk about that. And yeah, I would wait to that point. Make sure you watch like a 4K video, a YouTube video of that. Let's do another few more questions. What lights do I use, Matt? Oh, I've got these two lights here. These are two lights I bought from Amazon, actually. And yeah, they're pretty cool. I like those. But I also have like an LED light over here. Look, you can see that my face gets darker. I put my hand over there. And I've also got another LED a bit further away there to get that light on my face. That's what I use here. Those are just lights I just bought from Amazon as camera lights that were recommended. So yeah, I do that. I don't use I used to have massive big soft boxes. They were like really in your face, beyond daylight light on a bright day. So yeah, I kind of got rid of them. I've gone for smaller ones, but still give a great effect. So yeah, happy with that. Two more. Let's do two more questions. Should we wait for the MacBook Pro 16-inch with M2 or the MacBook Pro with M1? That's the question, isn't it? Or is it was it M1x? There will probably not be like I said, there will not be I doubt there'll be an M1 16-inch MacBook Pro because, like I said, M1 is for the standard basic models. There'll be an M1X. But this is the whole question, isn't it? I think you fall back into that equation like with iPhones. I've got an iPhone 12. The iPhone 12 is out right now. Should I get the iPhone 13? Should you? Or should I get the iPhone 12? When the iPhone 13 comes out, should I get the iPhone 14? Should I get an iPhone 13 now or should I wait for the iPhone 14? Same again. iPhone 14 comes out. Should I get an iPhone 14 or should I wait for the iPhone 15? I think you can't go wrong. Like I said, the performance gains on iPhones are basically 20% or 30% each year in speed, generally. That's a much more speed. So really, same thing. I think, like I said, the difference is with M1X is going to be much more powerful. But like I said, M2X to M1X, let's say like that, they'll probably only be about a 20% increase. Just like M1 to M2, probably about 20-30% increase. And they'll be like that all as they go along. Just like, for example, if they'd made an A11X and they made an A12X, they did make a 12X, but say they made an A11X, if you compare the X models, they'd only be about a 20% increase, because that's what Apple kind of do, a 30% increase. So you can't really go wrong, as it were. The big thing I would say is, though, is when the new model is about to come out, then yeah, you might as well just sit out a month or two. But like I said, the new MacBook Pros, I don't think they're coming to the end of this year. I don't think we're going to see them to October, November time. So if you need a MacBook right now, yeah, M1s are definitely really cool. But if you can hang out about 6 or 7 months more, yeah, definitely get yourself the next generation, and then you ask that question again, don't you? Let's take one more question, and then let's have a look. Apple makes anything better, but imagine if they make a feature to compete for Samsung DeX. Samsung users will probably have to switch to iPhones and iPads then. I think they wouldn't do that. That's the whole thing. That's a good question, though. I don't think that would ever actually happen, like a DeX idea. It's a cool idea. I do like that with Samsung. It's a cool idea, but not many people use it. And I think that goes back to the point. I remember years ago, I had a friend, and he's still my friend now, actually. But he came out with a rumor. He made it up, and he said that I think we were on the iPhone 5S, and he says, I'm waiting for the iPhone 6. And then I said, oh, are you? And he goes, yeah. Why is that? And he goes, the iPhone 6 is going to come out with a projector on it, so you can watch stuff on it. And I turned around and said, why would they do that? And he goes, so you can watch stuff like on the wall. You just put your phone down, beams it onto the wall. That's a cool idea, I said. But I said, they just talked about AirPlay at their show, their event. And he goes, yeah. So they wouldn't put such a much emphasis on AirPlay and how AirPlay works with your Apple TV and stuff like this and how you can beam stuff over to a TV. Why would they then bring out a projector to stop you from doing that ability? It makes no sense. And I think that's the same thing with DeX. I think they won't put like a Mac OS inside an iPhone. So you could use that instead as your desktop, because then you just completely wiped out all your MacBooks, as it were. Because there's no point having one anymore. Just use my phone. And that's not a good business strategy. from Apple's point of view, at least. I think so. That's why I don't think they're going to do something like that ever. In my head, most likely. Um, I'll do one more question, and that's it here. Because the question is all about the whatever projector would be cool. It would be cool, but yeah, I don't think they'll ever do it. Will there be an iPhone SE 5G this year? Good question. If they are, I bet it'll be a silent release. Excuse me. And if they do, I reckon it will be a. I think it'll be based on the iPhone XR design. So you know the iPhone XR looks right now. I bet it will look exactly like the iPhone XR, just like the iPhone SE looks like a iPhone 8 and 7, whatever. They will probably just put it inside the guts of a new sort of A14 or A13 chipset inside that and basically keep it the same design, just like they did with the iPhone SE and normal. And that's what they'll call it, the iPhone SE Max or whatever. And yeah, that's what they do. But then at the same time as that, they would retire the iPhone SE, not the iPhone, sorry, the iPhone XR, sorry, they'd retire it. Just like when they brought out the iPhone SE this time last year, they retired the iPhone 8 because there was no point selling the iPhone 8 and the iPhone SE. No point. So they retired it, stopped selling it. So I believe that is what they would do, something like that. And if they are, I reckon it'll be like I said, a silent release where you just go on Apple's website one day and, oh, we've done this. I don't think they'll do a massive announcement for it personally. But if they do, I think it would be probably the end half of the summer. And like you said, 5G connectivity, most likely it'd be inside it because it's, for example, like A14 is compatible with 5G. So yeah, if they are, like I said, end of summer. Well, guys, like I said, I've got to kind of wrap this up now, but I really want to thank everybody for coming along. And if you want to share your support and love, like I said, I'm not asking, but basically, if you want to help this channel running, I'd love any kind of support and donations that you put in here on Super Chat if you want to do that, because like I said, it does cost a lot to buy all this Apple equipment. I'm going to do some great reviews coming up. And yeah, it does cost a bit to get all that stuff to show you guys. So yeah, any kind of appreciation that you guys do there really does help me along on my channel and everything. But yeah, just last time again, it was a great event, I think. In overall kind of amount of products, some of those products were a little bit disappointed. I think a lot of you were disappointed with the iMac. That it could have been much more, and I believe so as well. That there shouldn't be the chin, maybe it was M1X, and then the price and everything. But yeah, some other products. Well, we did get that new coloured iPhone, which was awesome. We also did get the new AirTags, which were awesome as well. And of course, the iPad Pro, what I think was the highlight of the show, in my opinion. Looks really, really amazing with that new M1 chipset inside it. So yeah, really, really looking forward to that. Like I said, guys, I'll be doing some review videos coming up when all those products come out. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell to find out more. But until then, guys, I will talk to you soon, and I'll see you in my next video. See you soon. Bye-bye.